But it's been a long time in the works. I don't know how long we've been scraping dirt off this field, but I think I'm finally done. This will be used to backfill against the house, and I still have to raise up where the lateral lines are going. I originally thought I'd only have to raise it maybe 2 feet to 30 inches, 2 to 2.5 feet, and I think we're already up at we're probably getting close to 4 feet now that I've had to raise up the ground level. Chickens have been loving it. The chickens are out here all the time picking up worms and stuff. But I still need to clean up this whole line because the fence is going to run through it. It's another mulberry tree. Every time I turn around, there's another one. Ooh, and that one's got ripe ones on it too. Awesome. If you can't tell, we love mulberries. So I'm sitting up here on the skid steer so I can get a good shot. Looked over and there it is. So that's a big one too. Awesome. Girls are gonna love that. Ooh, there's some good ones too. I gotta get down so I can go eat some mulberries real quick. If you've never had a mulberry, they are a treat to be had. You gotta pick the black ones. They are delish. Oh, that is so good. Oh, it is loaded. Look at all those. That is awesome. Okay, I'm finally back out and ready to get busy. My cancer-proof hat. I need to start laying this out. And I guess the first thing I'll do is come off. I'm not going to do the distribution box anymore. And the reason being is that the county wants me to tie all of the lateral lines together. And so the reason why I use a distribution box is, let's say this row is a little bit higher than that row, a little bit higher than that row, so these are not level. Use a distribution box to control the water that goes to each one. It gives you, I think, about 4 to 5 inch elevation change going out of the box. Well, because the county wants me to tie everything together as if it were perfectly level, there's no point in doing that because all my lines now have to be level, the same, all the way across the board. So there's no point in having a distribution box anymore. Well, it sure isn't pretty, but it's dug. So all that rock up there was pretty rough that first 20 feet or so. Once I got past that, it went a lot smoother. So basically what I did is I got the transom set up over there, and when I ran my first elevation, just happened to be 4 feet. So I wanted to be 18 inches down. So I actually had this up at 5'6". And then I ran down the trench with it and made sure my depth was good. So now what I'm going to do is fill it up with rock. Some of these areas is deeper, but I'm not any shallower than I need to be. So I lowered this down my 4 inches from my 6 down to my 2. So now when I fill in rock, I can rake it until till this beeps exactly at my 5'2". Then I'll lay my pipe in. Then I'll pour in more rock, and then I'll set this down 8 more inches. So that would get me to 4'6", and I got 6 inches of soil on top of that, which put me back to 4 feet. So I was just pushing all that rock out of the way, and I realized I may be screwing up here. So if I've got my trench, I was going to go ahead and put my pipe in there. And this pipe needs to connect to that tank. If I put my pipe in the ground, put my rock on it, how am I going to hook it up to the tank? So what I need to do is go ahead and dig this line all the way out to 35 feet, and then go ahead and get my connection here and then work that way. Okay, I'm at the point now where I need to go ahead and get some rock in here. So I know that line's not perfectly straight. It will get leveled and straightened out when I put the rock in. This end piece isn't on yet. I haven't glued this fitting where it transitions from Schedule 40 down to regular drain pipe. Drain pipe is really thin. Schedule 40 is a lot thicker. The reason why I ran Schedule 40 through here is that if anyone's going to drive through here, it's going to be right through this area. I want to make sure I didn't get my pipes crushed at all. Although it's probably unlikely, still I'm trying to be safe. A couple extra bucks makes it worthwhile. Leveling pipe with rock is really relatively easy. So once you throw some rock in there, you just basically lift it up a little bit, and as you lift it up, the rock falls underneath it and it levels it perfectly. So the hump I had down there, the low spot, is now gone. Comes out very level, and then actually not level, excuse me, actually has a really good drop. This first 20 feet, the last 15 feet actually drops just a little bit faster. So that's part of the reason why I put a Y down here too, is that I didn't want all the water rushing right past and shooting into this one side. Granted, it's all level and it shouldn't matter. You know, it should go down here and then eventually it will fill up. Eventually it'll fill up the whole field. But putting that Y in there like that, as it should direct some of the fluid off this way too. If I had a T in there, it wouldn't do that. But you can see the beveled, how far in that dip goes. So as the water comes down, some should get pushed off into this direction as well. This next morning, Sydney helped me last night. It was actually really good. Once the sun went down, it was really easy to level this out, because the laser was super easy to see. So all I've got to do now is just lay the pipe in there and then cover it up. But that is perfectly level all the way down there. I think we weren't overly picky. You know, if it was within a ½ inch, we were okay with it. And because I worked so well last night putting the rock in, actually what I'll probably do is maybe do, I don't know what I'm doing yet. I'll figure it out as I go. I keep saying I have a plan, and then that plan always constantly changes. That's how this whole project has gone. It has gone. We're always talking about, oh, we're going to do this, we're going to do this, and then you watch the videos and we do nothing we said we were going to do, because everything is always on the fly pretty much. One other thing I should probably do before I cover this up is, I was going to have my inspection ports sitting out over here, but it makes more sense for me to cut this pipe and put that in right there. I got my inspection port in there. That'll rise up to just below grade level. You can dig it up and check it if you need to. And I got my 90-degree on down there, so I'm pretty much ready to go ahead and fill this one in. I'm going to run level down it one more time just to make sure we're good and straight, although I really don't think we're going to have a problem. And I'll go ahead and put 4 inches of rock on top of the pipe, lay down my weed barrier, and then go ahead and get this one buried. Well, got the first line in and buried, so I had enough dirt that I think I brought it up high enough on that west side to meet my 6-inch minimum. So I got a rock right there I need to take out. So now I'll work on the back side. There's 4 more rows to go, and we'll see how far we can get today. Getting hot. At least there's a breeze. And of course when you start sweating, it actually feels pretty good, but it's still hot. So I'm looking at doing here is I'm going to try a different method. On this row, went through and dumped gravel in there and then walked up and down it and raked it and leveled it and all sorts of stuff. But I think if I just do this method, throw some gravel in there and then lift it up till it's level, I think that ought to work pretty good. Well, that was super easy compared to how I did that first run. So pretty much just pour it in a couple piles and level it off those piles. Now the only trick is to pour the rock in around it, and these areas don't have anything without messing the pipe or hitting the pipes. I went ahead and did one of these 80-footers by putting it all together and then doing the rock thing, relay it in the trench and raise it up. Worked just fine. Well, another turn of events. Barry was driving the utility truck that I'm in now, getting rock. The brakes went out on him. The brake cylinder on the left rear blew out. Tried to use the parking brake, and the parking brake didn't work. So I tightened up the parking brake wire, and that didn't work. So I'm just gonna limp it over to the repair shop, drop it into first gear and get whatever brakes out of it I can. And then Barry's in front of me, so if I hit anyone, I'm going to hit him. But I've done this before, so it should be okay. We'll see. If I hit anyone, I'll let you know. I'll go back to the house. Okay, got the utility truck dropped off. But I'm going to get back on this now and get this filled in. Ooh, it's hot. Hot in Topeka. Gonna get ready to start digging my next line. Got this one all covered up, ready to go. So that's a 3-foot wide trench there. And then I'm gonna take the dirt from this one and dump it onto this one. My only concern is it's so dry, everything is just hard clods of mud. So hopefully it won't rip this mesh stuff up. case you're wondering how I know how all the pipes are lined up, is at the print line. If I line up that print line, I know that my holes underneath are at 4 o'clock and 8 o'clock. So that means through the bottom of the pipe, there is going to be holes on both sides at an even amount. And what this does is allow the water, right about there is where it'll be, so water can flow down the middle around the entire system, and then it will eventually get up high enough to leak out those holes. Well, I'm tired and beat. Hoping to, I kind of messed myself up because I thought I only had one more line to do. I have 2 more to do. So, get that one covered up tomorrow when I dig the next trench. I gotta take a shower. Beat.
It's like you're pooping. That's so gross.
I don't think this could have gone any better today. I've got everything covered up. As you can see behind me, we got a chance of storms coming in. It was no storms at all, and now they're saying 80% chance. There's already some popping up north of us. So I went ahead and got everything smoothed out. Now I've got to come back still and get some of this. You can see it's like, you know, these humps where where the lateral lines are. So those may settle down a little bit, but I'm sure I'm going to need to bring in more dirt. I've got about maybe 2 more loads there in the back that I worked up. But if we get a big rain on this, we'll get a chance to see what it's like. You can drive on your lateral line, especially when they're new, as long as you're going perpendicular to them. You don't want to go parallel right down them, but you can go perpendicular. Now this is very dry dirt. It's not going to sink, it's not going to be mushy, and plus I've got tracks on the skid steer, which distributes the weight. So they say you don't want to use wheeled vehicles. Like if I didn't have tracks on that skid steer, I probably wouldn't have done what I just did. I probably would have used the Mini X, which would have taken a lot longer. But everything has a slight slope this way, which is what I wanted. And then the slope comes down from this direction and this direction, and then hits into this little valley here. And we'll go straight out to where the pond may be one of these days. I have to say my only concern is just the side along the road. If we get some seepage through there before I get a chance to build that retaining wall, and then put some drain tile down through there as well. So who knows when I'll get to that. You know, here's the pipe. It's supposed to be 10 foot away from a tree. We're about, that looks, well, the pipe's there, but the line's actually about right here. So 10 foot would be about right here. So about probably 12 foot from that tree, but my dirt definitely ends before the 10 foot marker. My retaining wall is going to be built up on the back side of these trees coming up, and then I'll backfill against that wall. So we'll probably end up taking this hedge tree out and that hedge tree out just because I don't want hedge apples falling everywhere. Kind of a pain in the butt. But all in all, went pretty good. So I expect the water to get all diverted around. It looks like I probably need to put a few loads more in here to raise that up. But yeah, so get this rain and let it soak in a little bit and hopefully let this settle and pack down a little bit, and then I'll have to come through and probably get some more dirt on it to raise the low spots. But all in all, it looks pretty good. So now we can get a toilet.
Go back. Just smile. Smile. I am taking a picture.
It breaks my face.
Smile. Look how white your teeth are. Your face is so dirty, your teeth are glowing. Alright, look at this. Oh, you're so dirty. It's funny. Hi! You wanna talk now? Don't touch me.
Here, you gonna take it or what?
Oh, so yummy. All right,
That's what we got so far.
I'm getting here. Oh, that was so good.
Yeah, so Daddy found this huge mulberry tree in the field that we're gonna turn into the pen. The field
I know, we keep
for
finding them everywhere.
the goats. Great. And there's another one by the chicken coop, and Valerie found one in her secret area. So
Yeah, but I couldn't find it again. I was trying to show Dad, but I couldn't find it.
Yeah, so we have like 7 mulberry trees we found. Well, maybe, I think your mom said 10, but 7 to 10 mulberry trees.
Yeah. And 3 of them are easily accessible.
This guy is just loaded. Full of mulberries.